Top mourning quotes of famous peoples. Grief and loss. Grief is not a sign of weakness. It is a sign of love. Queen Elizabeth II. The deepest grief can only be measured by the depth of love that preceded it. Mary Ann Radmacher. What we once enjoyed and deeply loved, we can never lose. For all that we love deeply becomes a part of us. Helen Keller. To live is to lose is to love is to live. William Faulkner. There is no grief like the grief that comes too early, and when it comes, it cuts deeper than any sword. Lord Byron. Grief can be the most painful companion, but it can also be the greatest teacher. Helen Keller. Mourning is a process, not an event. Richard Cohen. There are times when the sun refuses to shine, when the moon hides in the clouds, and the earth seems to stand still. These are the times when grief takes hold of our hearts, and we must find the strength to carry on. Michael Josephson. Tears shed for another person are not a sign of weakness. They are a sign of a heart capable of deep empathy and understanding. Jose N. Harris. Grief is not a weakness. It is a reminder of the love you shared. Unknown. Remembering and letting go. The ones we love never really leave us. You can always find them in here. Winnie the Pooh. The pain of loss is the shadow of love. Vietnamese proverb. Do not let your heart be troubled. Trust in God. John 14:1. When someone you love becomes a memory, the memory becomes a treasure. Unknown. It is not the length of life, but the depth of life. Ralph Waldo Emerson. Grief is not a one-time event. It is a journey. Rabbi Earl Grolman. The heart remembers what the mind forgets. Corazon Aquino. Sometimes the hardest thing to do is to let go, but sometimes it's the only way to heal. Unknown. What is lost in the mind will always be found in the heart. Unknown. The only true death is to be forgotten. Victor Hugo. Finding hope and moving forward. The sun always rises after the darkest night. Victor Hugo. Life is not a matter of holding good cards, but of playing a poor hand well. Robert Louis Stevenson. Even the darkest night will end, and the sun will rise. Victor Hugo. There is no greater sorrow than to remember what once was happy. Propertious hope is the thing with feathers that perches in the soul, and sings the tune without the words, and never stops at all. Emily Dickinson. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Lao Tzu. You cannot control the wind, but you can adjust your sails. Unknown. Grief is a process, not a destination. Unknown. The greatest glory in living lies not in never falling, but in rising every time we fall. Nelson Mandela. Even the smallest light can shine the brightest in the darkest of times. Unknown. Additional quotes. Mourning is a way of carrying the dead in our hearts until we meet again in heaven. Unknown. The only people who are truly alive are those who have learned to live in the face of death. Miyamoto Musashi. Grief is like the ocean. It comes in waves, ebbing and flowing. Sometimes the waves are crashing down and sometimes they're gentle lapping. But the tide is always there. Unknown. There is no death, only a change of worlds. Seneca. The soul of the departed never dies. It is but concealed in a different form. Plato. The pain of loss is a powerful reminder of the love we shared. Unknown. What you leave behind is not as important as what you live behind. Unknown. To live in the hearts of those we love is not to die. Thomas Campbell. The dead are not forgotten. They live on in the hearts of those who love them. Unknown. Grief is a bridge that connects our past to our future. Quotes from literature and pop culture. Sometimes you never know the true depth of your love until you face the loss of it. J.K. Rowling, Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows. Death is only a turning of the page, my child. We turn again and turn again. And when we meet again, it will be as one. Ursula K. Le Guin, The Left Hand of Darkness. The pain of loss diminishes over time, but the love remains. M.L. Stedman, The Light Between Oceans. It is a terrible and awful thing to love and then lose what you love, to have your heart ripped away from you piece by bloody piece. Cassandra Clare, City of Bones. Grief is like a tidal wave. It comes crashing in and you think you'll drown, but you learn to swim eventually. Veronica Roth, Allegiant quotes from spiritual traditions. Death is not the end, but a new beginning. Buddhist proverb. In the depth of winter, I finally learned that there was within me an invincible summer. Albert Camus. We are only visitors here, we come and we go. Bob Marley. The soul knows no past, present, or future. It lives ever in the eternal now. Eckhart Tolle. Love never dies, it changes form. Sufi saying, friends, how did you like these morning quotes? Please tell in the comment box. Thank you.